From scrawny to savage, these fans used the 5 exercises and blew up. Welcome back to the Pump Room Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Eris Forn, and today we're diving into something truly inspiring that's going to light a fire under your training routine. If you've ever stared at the mirror wondering why your gains are stalling, or felt that nagging doubt that real jaw-dropping change is out of reach for someone like you, maybe you're juggling a desk job, family chaos, or just starting from scratch, this episode is your wake-up call. We're not talking theory here. We're showcasing 5 unbelievable real-life stories from our very own listeners who shattered their limits using just 5 cornerstone exercises: the bench press, squat, deadlift, overhead press, and pull-ups. These aren't celebrity transformations or paid endorsements. They're everyday warriors, folks just like you, who rolled up their sleeves, submitted their journeys to us, and turned their bodies into powerhouses. And the best part? By the time we're done, you'll not only be pumped with motivation, but armed with practical, step-by-step blueprints to kickstart your own epic shift. Plus, we're throwing open the doors for you to share your story. Could be featured in a future episode. So grab your protein shake, settle in, and let's unpack these tales of triumph. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single detail. Before we jump into the stories, let's quickly break down why these 5 exercises are the ultimate game changers for building what I call gorilla strength, that raw, functional power that turns heads and crushes personal records. The bench press, it's your ticket to a bulletproof chest, triceps that pop, and overall upper body dominance, perfect for pushing through plateaus in pressing movements. Start with a flat bench, grip the bar slightly wider than shoulder width, lower it controlled to your chest, then explode up. Aim for 3 to 5 sets of 8 to 12 reps to build size and strength. Squats build those tree trunk legs, firing up your quads, hamstrings, and glutes, while boosting hormone release for total body growth. Feet shoulder width, descend until thighs parallel to the ground, drive through heels to stand. Deadlifts, they're the king of posterior chain builders, strengthening your back, traps, and core to prevent injuries and amp up your pulling power. Conventional stance, grip the bar overhand, hips back, chest up, pull until locked out. Overhead presses sculpt shoulders like boulders, improving stability and overhead mobility that's crucial for everything from sports to daily life. Press the bar from collarbone to overhead, lock elbows, lower slowly. And pull-ups, they forge that coveted V-taper, hammering your lats, biceps, and grip for balanced aesthetic strength. Hang from the bar, pull chest to bar, lower with control. Together, these compounds hit every major muscle group, maximize efficiency, and deliver results faster than isolation fluff. If you're skimping on these, you're leaving gains on the table. Now, let's see them in action through real people, starting with our first transformation. Story 1. Meet Alex from Chicago, a 28-year-old office worker who kicked off his journey at a mere 140 pounds soaking wet, standing 5 feet 10 inches. Imagine this. Alex was the classic ectomorph, that skinny guy who'd duck out of group photos, avoid beach days, and battle constant fatigue from 9 to 5 desk drudgery. His before photos, heartbreakingly honest, narrow shoulders that slouched under button-ups, a chest so flat it looked concave, arms thinner than pipe cleaners, and legs that screamed skipped leg day for life. Socially, he felt invisible. At work, low energy meant missed opportunities. Personally, self-doubt was his constant companion. He'd bounced from one fad to another, those high-intensity interval classes that left him sore but unchanged, random machine circuits that bored him to tears, even some sketchy supplements promising miracles but delivering nada. Frustration mounted. Why wasn't anything working? Was he genetically doomed? Let's pause here and address that common myth. Genetics play a role, but consistency and smart programming trump them every time. Alex proved it. Then fate intervened when Alex tuned into our episode on the fundamentals of compound lifting. Something clicked, simplicity over complexity. He committed to the Big Five, starting slow to build a rock-solid foundation.
For bench press, he began with just the barbell at 45 pounds, focusing on perfect form, feet planted firmly on the ground for stability, back arched slightly to engage the lats as secondary stabilizers, controlled descent to the chest, touching lightly without bouncing, then an explosive push using the full power of his chest and triceps. He structured it as 3 sets of 10 reps initially, progressing by adding 5 pounds every session where he could complete all reps with good technique, avoiding ego lifting that leads to injuries. Squats? He kicked off with body weight to groove the movement pattern, ensuring his knees tracked over toes without caving in, then loaded with 65 pounds on the bar, emphasizing full depth below parallel for maximum quad and glute activation, driving through the heels on the way up to recruit the posterior chain effectively. Form cues? Keep the chest up, brace the core like you're about to take a punch, and breathe in on the way down, out on the up. Deadlifts started as conventional with 95 pounds, grip shoulder width, overhand, to build grip strength naturally. Hips hinged back with a flat back, pulling the slack out of the bar before initiating the lift, key to avoiding lower back tweaks and maximizing hamstring and trap involvement. Overhead presses, he opted for seated with dumbbells at 20 pounds each to reduce lower body compensation, pressing the bar straight overhead without arching the back excessively, squeezing the shoulders at the top for that peak contraction, then lowering under control to shoulder height. Pull-ups. Since he couldn't do a single one at first, he used resistance bands for assistance or focused on negatives, jumping to the top position and lowering slowly over 5 seconds per rep to build eccentric strength, which is crucial for progressing to full reps. But exercises alone don't transform. Alex layered in smart habits to address those nagging issues like low energy and inconsistent progress. Nutrition was overhaul number 1. He calculated his daily needs at around 2,800 calories for a controlled surplus to fuel muscle growth without excessive fat gain, prioritizing 180 grams of protein spread across 5 to 6 meals. Sample day? Breakfast of oatmeal with 4 eggs and a scoop of peanut butter for sustained carbs and fats. Mid-morning, Greek yogurt with berries and almonds. Lunch, grilled chicken breast with brown rice and broccoli and olive oil drizzle. Post-workout shake with whey protein, banana, and spinach. Dinner, lean beef stir-fry with quinoa and mixed veggies. Evening, cottage cheese for slow-release casein before bed. No more skipping meals. He meal prepped on Sundays, portioning everything into containers to grab and go, solving the office lunch dilemma.
To combat the desk slump that killed his posture and energy, he incorporated quick mobility drills right at his workstation, shoulder dislocations with a broomstick for 10 reps, cat-cow stretches for spine health, and even standing desk-side squats or lunges during breaks to keep blood flowing. Sleep became non-negotiable, aiming for 8 hours nightly by creating a wind-down routine. No screens after 9 p.m., reading a book on fitness or mindset like Atomic Habits to reinforce his commitment, and blacking out his room with curtains for deeper rest. Mindset shift. He started a simple journal, noting daily wins no matter how minor. Form felt solid on squats today, or hit a new personal best on bench by 5 pounds to build positive momentum and counter those days when motivation waned. The real test came over the first 3 months. Initial soreness was intense, making simple tasks like typing at work uncomfortable, and progress felt painfully slow, with weeks where weights didn't budge. Temptations to quit surged during high-stress work periods, like quarter-end reports that left him drained. But Alex adapted wisely, implementing deload weeks every 4th week, dropping weights to 70% for lighter sessions to allow recovery without losing momentum, and incorporating foam rolling and light yoga for tight spots like hips and shoulders. He also tracked body measurements weekly, chest, arms, thighs, to see non-scale victories when the mirror lied. By month 6, the changes accelerated. His weight climbed steadily to 175 pounds, but it was lean, quality mass. Bench press hit an impressive 225 pounds for 5 solid reps. Squats reached 315 by 8 with depth and power. Deadlifts soared to 405 by 5 without form breakdown. overhead presses at 135 by 10, and pull-ups unassisted for 12 reps in a row, a far cry from his starting point. The after photos tell the full story, a chiseled physique that commands attention, broad, rounded chest, filling out shirts properly for the first time, veiny forearms and biceps that pop even at rest, defined quads and hamstrings making jeans fit like they were tailored, and an overall posture that's upright and confident. Energy levels? Through the roof. He's acing presentations at work with laser focus, scored that long-awaited promotion because he showed up with vitality and presence. And socially, dates are rolling in, conversations flow easier, all because that inner strength radiates outward. Alex's top advice for anyone starting skinny like he was: track everything meticulously. Lifted weights, consumed meals, hours slept. Those small daily consistencies compound into massive life-changing results. Don't chase overnight miracles. Focus on steady progress, and the savage version of you will emerge. If you're echoing Alex's struggles, feeling weak, overlooked, constantly drained, this blueprint directly addresses it. Commit fully to these 5 foundational moves. Fuel your body with purpose, prioritize rest and recovery, and watch as your entire world expands with newfound power and confidence. Now let's transition smoothly to our next warrior, because if Alex demonstrates the power for young professionals breaking free from skinny fat cycles, Story 2 highlights how dedicated moms can reclaim their bodies and vitality amid the beautiful chaos of family life. Enter Maria from Miami, a 35-year-old mother of 2 young toddlers who began her journey at 180 pounds shortly after her second pregnancy, feeling like a distant shadow of her former athletic self from college track days. Visualize her starting point vividly: a softer midsection scarred from C-section recovery, arms lacking any real tone or definition, legs feeling heavy and swollen from lingering water retention, and shoulders perpetually knotted and tense from the daily grind of toting kids, diaper bags, and groceries. Her energy was completely zapped. Simple activities like chasing her little ones around the park left her winded and sore. Playground time turned into a dreaded chore rather than joy. And trying to squeeze into pre-baby clothes? It was a heartbreaking reminder of how far she had drifted. Balancing a part-time teaching job added layers of stress, leaving zero bandwidth for self-care or structured exercise. Her rock-bottom moment came at a family beach gathering, where she struggled to lift her giggling son onto her shoulders without sharp back pain, tears welling up from sheer frustration and a sense of loss. Past attempts at getting back in shape had fallen flat, crash diets that dangerously tanked her breast milk supply and left her irritable, sporadic yoga sessions that improved flexibility but built no real muscle or strength, and gym memberships that gathered dust because who has time between nap schedules and school pickups? It all felt overwhelming until she stumbled upon our podcast episode dedicated to balancing family responsibilities with personal fitness goals. That was her turning point. Maria latched on to the 5 exercises as her practical lifeline, adapting them cleverly to fit her hectic, unpredictable routine. For bench press, she started safely on the living room floor with lightweight dumbbells at 15 pounds each, easier on the back and core postpartum, focusing on a full chest squeeze at the top to rebuild upper body pushing power without straining her back. Form emphasis: lie flat, feet on ground for base, lower dumbbells to sides of chest, press up explosively while exhaling. Squats were family-friendly from the get-go, bodyweight versions with one kid on her back for added resistance and fun, progressing to a barbell at 95 pounds in her garage setup, using plates under heels for ankle mobility if limited for better depth. Key cues: wide stance for stability, descend slowly, explode up engaging glutes fully. Deadlifts began as lighter Romanian variations with 65 pounds to protect her healing core, standing with soft knees, hinging at hips, lowering the bar to shins while stretching hamstrings, then pulling back up with a strong glute contraction. Overhead presses, she used standing with household kettlebells or water jugs, starting at 25 pounds equivalent, building shoulder strength for everyday tasks like lifting kids overhead, stabilizing her core against any wobbles to prevent lower back involvement. Pull-ups started with ring rows on a sturdy door frame pull-up bar setup,
feet on ground for support, pulling elbows back to engage lats, advancing gradually to negative reps and eventually full ones. To directly solve the massive time crunch that plagues so many parents, Maria turned workouts into interactive mommy playtime, squats while bouncing her babies for giggles and extra load, pull-up assists with kids cheering from below, making it sustainable and enjoyable. Her schedule? 4 sessions per week, 45 minutes each in the early mornings before the household stirred, using a baby monitor for peace of mind. Nutrition was tailored to hormonal recovery and sustained energy, around 2,200 calories daily, with 150 grams of protein from quick, family-shareable meals, green smoothies with spinach, banana, Greek yogurt, and protein powder for breakfast, turkey and avocado wraps with fresh veggies for lunch,
Baked salmon with sweet potatoes and asparagus for dinner. Snacks were smart. Handfuls of nuts, apple slices with cheese, or homemade energy balls to curb mid-afternoon crashes without derailing progress. She even involved the kids in meal prep, turning it into a game to teach healthy habits early. Recovery took center stage to combat the exhaustion of motherhood, syncing short naps with the children's, continuing prenatal vitamins for nutrient support, especially iron and calcium for joint health, and incorporating daily light walks around the neighborhood, pushing the stroller for active rest and mental clarity. Early challenges added real drama to her path. Postpartum hormones triggered unexpected mood swings that made sticking to routines tough. Intense soreness flared up after sessions, and self-doubt crept in on days when the scale didn't move despite efforts. Maria countered by building a support network, joining our online listener community forum for daily accountability check-ins, sharing small victories like completed my first set of unassisted pull-ups today to stay motivated and connected. By month 9, the transformation was undeniable and profound. She'd shed down to 145 pounds, but with visible muscle tone everywhere. Defined arms that handled kid lifting effortlessly, a stronger core peeking through, legs powerful for endless playtime. Strength milestones: bench pressing 135 pounds for 8 reps, squats at 225 by 10 with perfect form, deadlifts 275 by 6, overhead presses 95 by 12, and full pull-ups for 10 clean reps. The after visuals capture her empowered glow, radiant skin, sculpted physique in fitted clothes, and a posture that exudes confidence. I went from barely surviving motherhood to absolutely thriving in it. My girls now see a superhero mom who can keep up with anything, and that's the greatest gift, Maria shares passionately. Her insider advice for busy parents everywhere: integrate your family into the process to make it fun and feasible. Prep your meals in advance to avoid excuses, and forgive yourself on those off days. Progress is about persistence, not perfection. If family life's demands are sapping your power and leaving you feeling disconnected from your body, this approach restores it completely. Adapt the exercises to your environment, fuel with efficient, nutrient-dense foods, dedicate time to recharge, and emerge stronger for yourself and your loved ones. Display Maria's transformation visuals to drive home the change, zooming in on family-integrated workout clips if she submitted them, showing the joy and practicality. Shifting gears now to a story that'll hit home for all the desk warriors out there, because if Maria conquered the whirlwind of parenthood, story 3 illustrates how tech professionals can hack their way out of physical stagnation and reclaim peak performance. Here's Jake from Seattle, a 42-year-old software engineer who started at 200 pounds with the quintessential dad bod accumulated from years of sedentary coding marathons. Picture a beer gut from late-night snack sessions in front of multiple screens, slouched posture causing chronic neck and back pain, no muscle definition hidden under loose hoodies and baggy pants, and arms that jiggled more than they flexed. His before pics paint a stark picture: a rounded belly spilling over belts, weak upper back leading to rounded shoulders, zero stamina for the weekend hikes he once cherished in his younger, more active days. Professionally, his focus waned during long debugging sessions. Personally, clothes shopping became a dreaded ordeal. Health-wise, doctor visits flagged pre-diabetic markers and high cholesterol, serving as a wake-up call he couldn't ignore longer. Failed fixes from the past included trendy keto diets derailed by office pizza Fridays and carb cravings, running programs abandoned after knee aches flared up from improper form, and fitness apps promising quick ab results but delivering only temporary motivation before boredom set in. Jake's breakthrough moment arrived while listening to our mailbag episode on listener questions and answers, where we emphasized the superiority of compound movements over endless cardio for time-strapped individuals. He locked in on the 5 exercises as his structured path forward. Bench press from a basic home rack setup, starting at 135 pounds with classic 5x5 sets for a solid strength foundation, ensuring full range of motion, a brief pause at the bottom for maximum tension buildup, and controlled eccentrics to enhance muscle recruitment. Squats were high bar style, beginning at 185 pounds, with a focus on bracing the core tightly to protect the lower back during long desk days, descending with knees tracking outward. Deadlifts in sumo stance to accommodate his hip mobility limitations from sitting, starting at 225 pounds, pulling explosively from the floor, with hips driving forward. Overhead presses as strict military style at 95 pounds, no leg drive allowed to isolate shoulders purely, building endurance for overhead reaches in daily life. Pull-ups transitioned from lat pull-down machine equivalents at 100 pounds to full body weight reps through progressive overload. Jake's secret weapon was leveraging data like the engineer he is, using wearable devices to monitor heart rate variability during sets, ensuring he stayed in optimal zones for growth without overtraining, and apps to log every lift with alerts for when plateaus approached. Nutrition followed a calorie cycling model. Higher intake on training days at 3,000 calories with protein-heavy meals like grilled steak, white rice, and steamed veggies for recovery carbs. Lower on rest days at 2,200 with lighter options like large salads topped with grilled fish and quinoa. Supplements included creatine monohydrate for enhanced performance and ATP replenishment, plus omega-3 fish oils to combat inflammation from prolonged sitting. To address mobility issues, he added daily 10-minute yoga flows targeting tight hips, hamstrings, and shoulders, poses like downward dog and pigeon to open up and prevent injuries.
The path wasn't smooth. Tension mounted mid-journey when work deadlines collided with workout times, leading to skipped sessions, and progress plateaus hit around month 4 where weight stalled despite efforts. Motivation dipped during rainy Seattle winters, but Jake adapted by micro-dosing workouts on ultra-busy days, like 20-minute AMRAP circuits of the 5 moves at lighter loads to maintain habits. By the end of a full year, the payoff was monumental. Slimmed down to a ripped 170 pounds with strength numbers that blew his mind. Bench 275 by 5, squats 365 by 8, deadlifts 455 by 4, overhead 185 by 6, and pull-ups for 15+ reps. Aftershots showcase the shred, visible abs under tight shirts, vascular arms and forearms from improved circulation, upright posture that makes him look taller and more commanding. I conquered Mount Rainier without a single gasp for air. This level of strength didn't just change my body, it unlocked freedom and adventure in my life again, Jake reflects with enthusiasm. His key strategy for fellow sedentary souls? Use technology to track and optimize your efforts, cycle your calories to match activity, and incorporate daily movement to break the sitting cycle. It's like rewriting your body's code for success. If the drain of desk life has you feeling trapped in a cycle of fatigue and decline, this method breaks it wide open. Data-informed lifting progressions, intelligent fueling strategies, integrated mobility work, reclaim your energy, sharpness, and edge in all areas. Building on that tech-savvy momentum, let's explore Story 4, which brings a fresh, creative angle to the table, proving these exercises do more than build muscles. They fuel passions and enhance every facet of life. Say hello to Sophia from New York, a 25-year-old freelance artist who began her transformation at a fragile 120 pounds, all lanky limbs and minimal substance, constantly battling exhaustion during those marathon studio sessions that define her career. Her initial snapshots capture the struggle: a frail frame with no muscle curves or definition, pale skin from hours indoors under artificial lights, hands trembling from the fine detail work fatigue that set in after just a couple hours. Creative blocks struck hard when physical weakness halted her flow, brushes dropped mid-stroke, sculptures left unfinished halfway through because her back gave out, leading to missed deadlines and frustrated clients. Her eating habits were erratic, mostly irregular vegan meals that left her underfueled and nutrient deficient. Previous fitness tries were limited to sporadic Pilates classes that boosted flexibility but added no real power or endurance. Everything changed after binging our series on muscle building science for hypertrophy. Sophia saw the 5 exercises as essential tools to enhance her artistic endurance and precision. Bench press started as incline dumbbell variations at 10 pounds, where she visualized engaging her chest muscles for better control in arm movements during painting, pressing with a mind to the squeeze at the top. Squats were goblet style, holding a 20-pound kettlebell close to her chest, grounding her stance for stability while working on canvases, emphasizing full depth to build leg resilience. Deadlifts using a trap bar at 95 pounds to make it more accessible, focusing on back strength for leaning over tables without pain, hinging properly to stretch and strengthen hamstrings. Overhead presses evolved into Arnold-style rotations at 15 pounds, improving shoulder mobility for reaching high on large pieces. Pull-ups began as inverted rows on makeshift studio bars, building grip for holding tools steadily over long periods. Sophia's innovative solve for her irregular lifestyle: treating meals like artistic palettes, vibrant, balanced creations at 2,400 calories with 130 grams of protein, such as colorful quinoa bowls loaded with tofu, avocado, cherry tomatoes, and leafy greens for lunch, or smoothie bowls with nuts and seeds for snacks. She scheduled training sessions like unmissable client deadlines, early 5 a.m. slots 4 times a week, using timers to keep things efficient and prevent overruns into work time. To deepen the connection, she approached each rep with visualization, imagining the movement as a brushstroke or sculpting motion, enhancing her focus and results. Obstacles emerged along the way. Artistic inspiration bursts disrupted sleep patterns, leading to overtraining symptoms like persistent fatigue, and creative slumps coincided with physical dips, testing her resolve. She overcame by planning flexible deload periods, journaling positive affirmations tied to her art, like strong body, boundless creativity, and seeking feedback from our community to refine her approach. After 12 dedicated months, the results were a masterpiece. Up to 140 pounds of toned, functional muscle, with lifts like squats at 185 by 10, bench 115 by 8, deadlifts 225 by 6, overhead 65 by 12 dumbbells, and pull-ups for 8 reps. Her after images radiate vitality, a vibrant, muscular form that supports endless creative output with improved posture and endurance. This strength supercharged my art. I can handle all-day sessions now, producing bolder, more intricate works than ever before, Sophia enthuses. Her pro tip for fellow creatives: visualize your reps as part of your craft, fuel with colorful and nourishing foods, and schedule ruthlessly to protect your time. Your body is the ultimate canvas for success. If physical weakness is hindering your passion or productivity, this empowers you fully. Tailor the moves to your world, nourish creatively, cultivate a focused mindset, unleash your full potential, and watch your work soar. Finally, to wrap up this extensive showcase of real-world wins, Story 5 serves as a powerful reminder that age is truly no barrier to achieving peak physical form. Meet Carlos from Los Angeles, a 50-year-old veteran construction worker who entered his journey at 220 pounds, with joints creaking and groaning from decades of demanding physical labor on job sites.
His before visuals lay it all bare, layers of excess fat overlaying the hard-earned but imbalanced muscles from years of unstructured heavy lifting, rounded shoulders from constant overhead work and carrying loads, knees protesting every stair climb or squat, and persistent back twinges that made even simple bends painful. On the job, his performance was slipping, slower pace, more breaks needed, risking his position. Thoughts of retirement loomed as a scary prospect of inactivity and decline. Overall vitality had faded, leaving him feeling older than his years. Previous efforts were haphazard, relying on the physical demands of work for exercise but lacking structure, leading to muscular imbalances and injuries. Nutrition overlooked amid quick sight snacks like fast food and energy drinks. Our special episode on training for seasoned lifters was the catalyst. Carlos decided to refine his approach with the 5 exercises, adapting them intelligently for his age and wear and tear body. Bench press on a flat bar starting at 185 pounds, with thorough warm-ups of lighter sets to lubricate joints, incorporating pauses at the bottom for safe strength building without momentum.
Squats to a box for controlled depth and knee protection, beginning at 225 pounds, focusing on slow eccentrics to build resilience. Deadlifts conventional at 275 pounds initial, with pristine form, wide stance if needed, emphasizing hip drive to minimize back strain. Overhead presses seated at 135 pounds to reduce lower body involvement and joint stress, strict reps only. Pull-ups using an assisted machine or bands, ensuring full range to balance pulling strength and prevent further imbalances. Carlos's seasoned wisdom shone in his nutrition, emphasizing anti-inflammatory foods for joint health, 2,600 calories daily with 70 grams protein from berries, fatty fish like salmon, turmeric-spiced curries, and plenty of greens. Supplements like glucosamine for cartilage support and fish oils for lubrication. Recovery protocols were rigorous. Daily foam rolling sessions targeting problem areas like IT bands and lower back, weekly sauna visits for circulation and detox, and active rest days with light swimming to stay mobile without overload. Hurdles were inevitable. Occasional joint flare-ups slowed progress. Recovery took longer than in his youth, and life interruptions like family obligations tested consistency. He persisted by modifying as needed, switching to band-assisted variants on tough days, consulting a physio for personalized tweaks, and maintaining a log to spot patterns. Over 18 months of steady effort, the revival was complete, down to a prime 190 pounds, with lifts like bench 245 by 8, squats 315 by 6, deadlifts 365 by 5, overhead 155 by 10, and pull-ups for 10 reps. Afterpics exude timeless vigor, lean, balanced physique ready for any challenge, with improved joint mobility and energy. I'm outpacing guys half my age on the site now. This is age-defying strength at its finest, Carlos declares proudly. His enduring advice, warm up thoroughly every time, nourish your body to heal and protect joints, and commit to recovery as much as the work. It's never too late to rebuild stronger. For those in their later years feeling worn down by time or toil, this revitalizes completely. Age-appropriate intensities, healing-focused fueling, dedicated rest practices, revive your prime and thrive indefinitely. Whew, what a deep, transformative ride through these 5 raw, relatable stories that demolish every excuse and demonstrate how these 5 exercises can forge gorilla strength for absolutely anyone willing to put in the consistent work. From Alex's professional overhaul, breaking free from weakness, to Carlos's veteran revival defying age, these detailed blueprints tackle your deepest pain points head-on. Persistent stagnation in progress, crippling time shortages from life demands, lingering self-doubt that holds you back, chronic fatigue sapping your drive, and nagging injuries threatening to sideline you. Each journey provides actionable steps to overcome these, equipping you with the tools for your own success. If these narratives have ignited something within you, now it's your opportunity to step up. Submit your own transformation story via the link in the description below, including before and after photos, your detailed routines, key learnings, and how our podcast played a role. Who knows? Your experience could inspire thousands in a future episode. Tag us on social media with #PumpRoomTransformation and drop a comment sharing which story spoke to you the most and why. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like if this added massive value to your day, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next drop of game-changing content. Until our next session, keep lifting heavy, living with purpose, and building that unbreakable strength. This is Dr. Aris Thorne signing off from the Pump Room Podcast. Stay strong, Iron Family.